Well, back to the story that we were talking about earlier. There are calls for a railway worker to be reinstated after he was suspended for jumping onto the tracks to save a passenger. Alan Chittock rescued a disabled woman who'd fallen from the platform at Southend Station. But rail operator C2C has stated they suspended him because of strict rules regarding safety procedures. Luke Hanrahan reports.
Last Wednesday evening at 6:10 here at Southend-On-Sea's central train station, a tragedy was averted. A 71-year-old disabled woman who was in a wheelchair rolled from the platform onto the tracks. With a commuter train due in minutes, a station employee ran from the ticket barrier, leapt onto the track and carried the woman to safety before the train arrived. Since the incident, Alan Chittock, the hero of this story, has been suspended from work. The company that he works for, C2C, released this statement. We have strict rules regarding the safety procedure for the quickest way of stopping trains in an emergency. An employee has been suspended while our investigation into this incident continues. People who saw what happened described Alan Chittock's actions as heroic. He's been asked not to speak to the press, but the union that represents him describes his suspension as a travesty of justice and calls for the company to recognise the strength of feeling this case has generated among both staff and the public.
I think it was disgusting what's happened to the man that's jumped on the tracks to get her off the railway line. I'd like to know what C2C's policy is to watch people die on the railway lines then if someone falls on the track, because I think it's disgusting.
It's blown out of all proportion, and he was just doing a natural reaction, which I think we would all do.
The guy was doing above and beyond his duty to save the woman, and I think, what I'd hope, that any other human being would have done the same.
The story has built up a head of steam on social networking sites. People on Twitter voicing their support for Mr. Chittock.
Is this the world we live in? Rail worker suspended for saving a life, disgusted at C2C Rail and its actions.
You should be celebrating a brave member of staff for rescuing someone from the tracks, not suspending them.
I hope C2C enjoy their PR nightmare dealing with the public's disgust.
The 71-year-old woman who'd fallen 5 feet while strapped into her wheelchair was taken to hospital with her carer and treated for minor injuries. Alan Chittock was immediately suspended from work and could face disciplinary action at a hearing next Wednesday for not following the correct safety procedures. That, say many, makes a mockery of something many say was the only course of action. Luke Hanrahan, ITV News, Southend.
The ITV News continues with the national and